Hey YouTube, Southern Piper here with another installment of Monday Musings. I thought, in the spirit of the holiday season, and since we just finished up Thanksgiving, where we typically have time with our families, I know I had a very enjoyable time with Princess Trudy and her kids and my parents. Drinking tea, Harney and Sons holiday. I'm also smoking Esoterica Pembroke. And this is in my Northern Briars billiard. But what I was talking about is, I thought, in the spirit of the holidays and the spirit of family, I'd start a debate. Now, apparently this debate goes back to 1883. And this debate of clear lights or white lights versus multicolored lights during the holidays. Now, if you don't celebrate Christmas, either the secular holiday that it has turned into, or the religious holiday that it started out as, then maybe you don't care. Maybe you think it's silly. But a lot of people take it serious. So I did a little bit of research. And I didn't find exactly what I was looking for. But I did find some interesting statistics. The first being that the United States imports 3.5 billion US dollars worth of Christmas decorations each year. Billions with a B. And I didn't write it down, but I believe that it said China exports over 5,000 tons of Christmas decorations, which is kind of ironic. Think about it. I don't guess they need it though. The second largest importer of Christmas decor is the United Kingdom. And there was one other statistic that I have forgotten what it was now, but it was about Germany and the Netherlands. Should have written it down. But I was trying to figure out the statistics on colored lights versus clear lights by sales. Couldn't find it. The only statistics that I found were those that I quoted. Um, I found a few articles on this debate. A lot of interior designers, a lot of what word am I looking for? Design influencers on platforms like YouTube and Instagram and Pinterest and what have you. Their take on it is interesting. One designer said he prefers clear lights or white lights because it's a blank palette, and then whatever you do around it, the lights just accentuate or complement whatever your design is. That's fair. And then another designer said, well, they prefer multicolor lights because it gives just a burst of color to any room, which is also true and accurate. Fair. But as I previously mentioned, this debate actually started in 1883 when the first multicolored lights were made available. So I'll be interested to know what your opinion is, because of all the articles I read, which was probably 2 or 3, maybe 4, it all comes down to personal preference. There's no right or wrong. So I'm interested to know what you think. What's your opinion? What's your preference? And I'll tell you mine. So I can remember being a little boy. You know, this was in the days before the pre-lit artificial trees and what have you. And I remember for the longest time we would get live trees. But regardless, we had to put the lights on ourselves. And I remember when I was a real little boy, we had multicolored lights. And one of my favorite things to do as a youngster during the holiday season was I would sit in the living room with no lights on except the Christmas tree. And I just loved that glow of the multicolored lights. And then as I got older, teenage years, we would switch to clear lights. And I think it was just my mom choosing that. It may have been the whole blank slate type of thought process. So we switched to white lights. And I can remember putting them up outside too. And those were fine. And I even got to the point where I preferred the white lights. And then when I got married, and I remember my ex-wife got into this gold and white kick. And so we had a tree with white lights, and all the ornaments were gold and white. And then at some point, I'm trying to remember. At some point, we inherited, because we would get live trees, but at some point we inherited a slender artificial tree. So we got two. We would put two trees up after that. I don't remember when it was though. And what we initially did was we had the main tree that was the gold and white, and we had another tree that we would put clear lights on, and it started out as like a peppermint tree. It was all red and white ornaments. And then that evolved as the boys got older and we had more playful decorations for them. That secondary tree evolved into like a toy tree. So we would have the white and gold tree, and then we would have like the playful tree. And then at some point, well, if it's going to be playful and toy, and have toys on it, let's do multicolored lights. So that's been my evolvement of preference for the past few years. I know for the past 3, maybe 5 years, I have preferred multicolored lights on my Christmas tree. And the great thing about trees today is if I get tired of the multicolored lights, I just click a button and I can have clear lights. And what's really cool is, like, I'm sitting here, I've got the tree is right there behind the camera. Last year I had, it was the multicolored lights and they were just static. And then I didn't realize it, but I accidentally hit a button when I was decorating. And now there's just a little bit of a twinkle to the lights, and that makes it even nicer. So, what's your opinion? What's your preference? I'm interested to hear. Leave your comments below. And I hope you have a great week. And until we meet again, I bid you happy smoking and blessings to you and your family.